What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we are here for some more Need for Speed Payback information, as today the soundtrack was literally just dropped. So for me, I don't personally believe Need for Speed has had a good soundtrack in years upon years upon years, but after reading up on this track list, I'm gonna go out there and say that Need for Speed Payback has got the best Need for Speed soundtrack in years. So over on the Need for Speed website, they actually dropped it today. There's a Spotify playlist and everything will be linked down in the description if you want to go ahead and have a look at it yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the actual soundtrack itself. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about, you know, what it's kind of the theme of it and stuff. I was someone who was a really big advocate of a soundtrack like this. I actually made a few videos beforehand asking for certain songs like this from these types of genres. And we're gonna go ahead and talk about that, talk what I think of the soundtrack, and just, you know, obviously music is very subjective, but music is something which I really like. I'm a very big music person. So to see some of the artists here, you know, which aren't really mainstream and they're not really, you know, up there, it's pretty insane to see that the Need for Speed has got their attention, and I feel like this is going to add so much to the atmosphere. I know a lot of people, they kind of just put on Spotify in the background, and to be honest, maybe in 6 months time that will be the case, but for now the actual soundtrack itself is absolutely great. Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and actually jump into it. So to start off the article, they did say that Need for Speed has been fueled by their soundtracks. They then go on to talk about some of the kind of landmark songs of, you know, the series. So obviously you've got Lean Back, one of the most prolific songs that you'll ever remember, just alongside Get Low and those types of songs. So they mentioned that in the article, and then they went on to say that this is something which is very important for the atmosphere of the game, which I already said. And it seems similar to last game, the soundtrack is split up into 4 places. So songs will play in the garage, in races, in drift battles, and in free roam. As well as that, there's also going to be a separate score which will be played in, I assume, you know, certain missions, like the blockbuster missions. So as well as all the songs that you've heard here, the licensed music, we've also got an original score that will play at certain points in the game as well. Bit disappointing there isn't any EA tracks. I would have liked to see EA tracks return. Obviously this was the feature that allowed you to kind of change where you're actually playing the song. So say you really like a song that plays in the garage, you want it to play during races, EA tracks would actually allow you to do that, but we haven't seen that in a game, in an EA game, in a very, very long time. But it would be really cool if I could actually turn off and turn on the soundtrack and stuff, because there's obviously going to be some songs which I don't like more than others. But that's a little gripe I have, not really a big issue. Like, we're here to talk about the actual soundtrack. But that is one thing which I thought I'd point out. Now me, I am very broad in what I listen to music-wise. I listen to everything from rap, rock, metal, D&B, jazz. I can pretty much listen to anything, but I'm going to go ahead and list a few of my favorite songs and just talk about the kind of, again, the genres they're in, because again, it's pretty weird if you go from the last game, which was really kind of just like kind of very similar to Rivals, and then you come over to this feels like an underground soundtrack. Now obviously I can't play any of these songs, so I will leave again the link down to the playlist down in the description so you can go ahead and look at it yourself. But there's a lot of grime in this playlist, which is good. I know grime has a bit of a stupid rep in this community because of Theo, and he always takes punches at it, but grime wouldn't, it just suits Need for Speed so well. It's underground, it's ruthless, it feels wrong, you know, and that's what the kind of vibe that you should be getting from Need for Speed Payback. It's one of those games which should feel gritty, should feel like you're doing something wrong, and grime, rap generally are the perfect genres to kind of show that and reflect that. I personally think this soundtrack is the modern day underground soundtrack. So we've got songs from ASAP Ferg in here, we've got songs from Skepta in here, we've got songs from Kano, Dizzy Rascal. There's a lot of artists, you know, rap dash grime artists in this actual soundtrack. Few of my favourite songs: Trap in a Dream, absolutely amazing song. I Win, Return of the Rucksack, also very good songs. I could list the songs, but I'm sure this means this is irrelevant to you unless you actually look in the description. But not only is a lot of rap and a lot of grime, they do cover a lot of other actual, like, kind of fields, I guess you could say. There's also a lot of rock in this playlist, which again is something which we haven't seen since like Underground. The mixture of rap and rock in a Need for Speed game has been missing for so long. Like classic bands that we've seen from past Need for Speed games, such as Queens of the Stone Age. Obviously, if you played Underground 2, you'll know that they had In My Head, one of my favourite songs on that soundtrack. They are also making a return. Again, it's just cool to see that I'm finally getting the soundtrack which I wanted. I literally put a wishlist video up like a year ago of like these genres, and we've got it. All I can really say is go look in the description, go look at the playlist, and go have a listen to for yourself. You might like some of the songs that are on there, and if you know, it definitely suits the game. It's not even a question if it suits the game. Whether you like it or not is a different story, but this will suit the game on a different level. It's going to make the game feel so much more underground, so much more illegal, and that is exactly what I wanted. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, the soundtrack will be down in the description. I don't usually get to talk about music a lot on the channel, but music is like one of my favorite things just to talk about. But anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have an awesome stay safe, and peace.